Okay, good morning. I have had a few requests asking me to explain how I have published books, children's books specifically, with illustrations. And so the books that I have published have either been by myself or with my partner Robin MacBlane, and they are all self-published. We used to call that vanity press because it was kind of frowned upon. It was kind of looked down upon as you're not a real author if you're publishing your own book and you're paying to have it published. But that was then. Nowadays, there's no shame in publishing your own book. There really wasn't back then, but there was kind of a stigma associated with publishing your own book. So I have illustrated books for traditional publishers that I did not publish myself. In some of those cases, the author is paying for the publishing, so it is self-published, but not by me, if that makes sense. I don't have any of those books to show you. I think I'm not supposed to share that stuff. I don't know. I have a non-disclosure agreement with the publisher, so I don't know how that works exactly. But I can show you the books that I have published with Robin. And the video that you're watching, I'm going to kind of just wing it because there's so much information in my head. I thought it would be easier if I just kind of went through it. And if what I show you and tell you about generates a question, please feel free. I don't mind answering questions. I might leave something out, but I'm going to try to be very comprehensive here, and I'm also going to try to be quick. So if you hang in there, I'm going to show you as much as I can. First, let me go to the other screen. Here we go. All right, there it is. Now these are the books that I have illustrated and or written with my partner Robin MacBlane. So we'll start at the top. You see Sea Turtle Guardians. And by the way, the $0, that's referencing the Kindle edition, because Kindle, for me, I have a special thing with Kindle. Let me see if I can get out of that. See if I can get to the hardcover or the paperback. Okay, how do I do this? How do I show you this? Maybe I can move this over. There. Okay, so the paperback one, let me see how much it cost if I were to buy it. Okay, so the Kindle price is $2.99. Do you see that there? The paperback one is $10.87. So I don't want you to get scared and think that I'm giving them all away. Okay, let me go back to the previous page. And I just want to show you some of the books that I have illustrated and written with Robin. Some of them she wrote by herself. The Sea Turtle Guardians was Robin's writing and my illustrating. Harmony of the Beasts, I wrote with Robin and illustrated it. I love that book, by the way. The Wildlife Cam, same thing, I wrote with Robin and illustrated it. Winter Kinder, When It Snows in Kinder Square, that's another fun one of mine that I wrote with Robin and illustrated. And Oreo and Brun, Zob, The Full Circle Quest. This is not an illustrated book. This is a novel I wrote, oh my gosh, when my son was 9 years old, and he's 38 now, so yeah, it was a long time ago, but there were no illustrations in that. Christmas Time in Kinder Square, another one I wrote with Robin and illustrated. She Sells Seashells, I believe Robin wrote that one by herself, and I illustrated it. The Mouse Who Changed Christmas, I love that one, by the way. That's one Robin and I wrote together, and I illustrated it. Kinder Square Kids Shadow the Swan Doctors, Robin wrote that one, and I illustrated it. The Gift of the Barking Frog, this is a big old book, 56 short stories. These are the stories, these are 56 of the stories that Robin and I, there are some stories written by her, some by me. It's a very thick book, this thick. And There were no illustrations in it, but I did do the cover. I did the cover on all of them. But that's a book of the stories that we wrote when we did a children's show on Sirius, which used to be called, when we did it, it was called Digital Cable Radio. And we read our own stories on the air. And it was fun. It was a fun time. But when the show ended, we had all these stories, and we said, what should we do with them? And we had hundreds of them. And we somehow narrowed it down to 56 of them. And that's that book, The Gift of the Barking Frog. Guardians of the Apple Tree Seedlings, that's a book that I wrote by myself and illustrated. Grandma's Music Box. This is one I want to focus on this video when I show you how I did this one, because I did not write this one. I only illustrated it. It's the only book that I can find on Amazon that shows that I illustrated a book that I didn't write. I'm not sure why, when I look for books that I illustrated but didn't write, I don't know if they're not listing me as the illustrator, but I have illustrated a number of books, and it kind of makes me wonder why they're not showing me as the illustrator on other books. But this one, it does show me as the illustrator, so I want to show you that one. The Diary of Denver Pontiac, I wrote and illustrated that with Robin. The Chanteuse Sleigh Ride, I love the Chanteuse Sleigh Ride. That's another book I illustrated. And that particular book, we did not publish with Amazon, so I'm going to explain all that in just a little bit. Barefoot Billidoo is a book of words and illustrations. When I say words, I mean these are like poems, mostly lyrics to songs that I wrote. Live to Sniff, I think that was the first book that Robin and I published, and I illustrated that one. I illustrated that one with pastel, by the way. The Kite Tail Wish, again with Robin. Never Despair, God Is Always There is just words, there are no pictures. I wrote that one. Our Florida Backyard, Kinder Square Kids Explore Florida's Natural Beauty. Robin and I wrote that, and I illustrated it. And then the oldest book I think on here is How to Make Money as a Touring Musician. And I did write that one. There are no illustrations, and that one continues to sell to this day, because how to make money as a touring musician. And I made it really affordable because I wanted people to who are looking to tour as a musician, because I did that. I did that for 3 years when I was much younger, and I made a lot of money during those 3 years, but I was in the car like all the time driving. So that's why I stopped doing it. Plus, you get old when you're a young man with a guitar and you're going from college to college. That's what I played. I played colleges. And it's not always about the money, but you have to sacrifice one for the other. So when I first got out of that, I entered, I don't know what I got, the job first, but anyway, all right, let's talk about illustrating these books and making the books. Let me start with, which one I want to start with? I want to start with The Mouse Who Changed Christmas. So let me switch over to the next part of this video, because I need to show you my iPad, because that's what I worked on to do it, okay? So let me switch over to that. Okay, now we're on the iPad, and I have it all set up so I can show you. So the first things I want to show you, and they might not be in exact order, but I want to show you the Mouse Who Changed Christmas. So this is the cover art I did for The Mouse Who Changed Christmas. You can see it's written by Robin MacBlane and me. I know I'm Papa, but I'm in the other world I'm Larry Whitler. And so this is just the cover. It's the artwork with the text on it, and I did both of those things on Procreate on my iPad. Okay, you don't have to use Procreate. You can use Photoshop. You can use any program that you are comfortable with. I happen to be more comfortable with Procreate. Okay, so I want to show you a few things. Let me start with this ad I did, a single picture ad. I got this photograph of a young girl, and she's holding the book, and that was how we promoted it. Remember what I told you? So I'm kind of going through this. This should be the last thing I tell you, but I'll tell you when I think about it. The one thing you have to do, whether you're selling art or selling books, you have to promote, 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 promote. You can exchange that word promote with advertise. Promoting is advertising. Okay, you just got to get the word out about what you're doing. You don't always have to pay for it. You can use social media. You can use word of mouth. You can hand out business cards. You can put on a show. Okay, all those things. All right, now all of these are the illustrations for the book, The Mouse Who Changed Christmas. Each one of them is telling part of the story, and I will tell you, I'm not going to show you how I illustrated it because you are an artist and I know you're already doing art, so I don't need to show you how I illustrated it, but I just want to show you how I put the book together. Does that make sense? And there's another illustration for the book. All right, so let me show you something here. All right, so now this shows you the picture and the words laid out as if it's going to be a book. In this case, the book is square. It's 10 inches, I think, by 10 inches. It's square. I'm going to show you in a little bit how I use Amazon, which is called Kindle Direct Press is what it's called. I'm going to show you how I use that to make this. But I want to show you something. Let me see if it's this one or another one. All right, it's this one. So what I want to show you is that each of these, can you see over here? Each of these layers is half of the double page spread. Okay? And let me see if I can show you this. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to try to show you this in order. Okay, so, oops, open layers. What's it doing? Ay, ay, ay. I don't know what it's doing. Give me a second to figure this out. Okay. So this shape, let me use the stylus to show you. This shape, the big old rectangle, that's the book opened up. One half has the art, the other half has the words. Let me see if I can show you this. So there's the half with the picture by itself, and then there's the half with the words. Open the layers. Okay, so now you see that's the half with the picture, and that's the half with the words. The words were all put on there using Procreate. Procreate does have a feature where you can add words. So let me show you. So here's one of the words. If you go through the whole thing, you'll see the picture and then the words. The picture and then the words. The picture and then the words. And what I did was I put the picture on the left side. This was a choice I made myself, and the words on the right side. You can type the words in just like you would any other computer. You can copy and paste them if you have them already on something like a Word document. But the reason I have them here in these layers is because each one of these layers is going to be the book. This is going to be the book. Okay, it's already done, but this is if I was doing it now. So what you do now, you take all these layers, you put them in order. so that the bottom one is page 1. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. We'll go to page 1. Wait, how do I do that? There we go. So that's the first page. Let me just make it smaller so you can see it. So that's going to be the first page, the title page, and that's going to be on the on the right side of the book. Okay, and then the next one is going to be on the left side, and opposite it is going to be this one, which is the next page. For everyone who loves the magic of Christmas. That's what it says. Now the next page is going to be the first illustration. Boom. That's going to be here. And then over on the right side is going to be these words. But they're all separate layers in Procreate. There are other programs you can use where you don't do it this way, but this is how I did it, and it was so easy. I make it sound, maybe I'm making it sound complicated, but trust me, just each layer, if you think of this as page 1, which is going to be the first page on the right, okay, because there's the cover, then you open it up, that's the back of the cover. On the right side is the first page. So the first page is the first layer. Now, in the rest of the book with the illustrations, as you noticed, there's going to be an illustration on the left side and words that go with that illustration on the right side. So when you open up the book. So when you render it as a PDF, because ultimately you need a PDF. So you go to Share, and then down here you go to PDF. Let me make sure. Here, I think you do it here. Or PDF layers. I think you do PDF layers. And then you use best quality, of course. Why would you do anything other than the best quality? And it's going to create a PDF for you. And let's see, I'll share it to my MacBook so I can show you in a second. So the Mouse Who Changed Christmas PDF was just sent to my Mac, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Now, before I leave the iPad, I want to show you a different book. I want to show you the one I illustrated for the pastor and his wife, which is called Grandma's Music Box. So there's the cover to Grandma's Music Box. Now, if you can see it, hopefully you can see this. It's written by Annette Shanks and Jeffrey P. Shanks. That is the pastor and his wife. It's illustrated by me. This is done differently, though, than the one I just showed you, The Mouse Who Changed Christmas, because this one, I'll go back to this, all these different elements. This one has, let me show you the cover. So here's the cover, so that this side would be the front of the book, and this side would be the back of the book. And there's the text, and there's the picture of the pastor and his wife, and some information about the book and about them, and then the cover of the book. And that's how it will be printed. So let me show you. I'm trying to think if this is the one. I think this is the one. Okay. So now this is the actual book. Now I'm going to tell you about the Library of Congress number, about the ISBN number right here. They're just X's. But if you go back to the layers, like I showed you in the last book, so here's page 1, which is the first one on the right. Here's page 2, and here's page 3, the opposite side, which is their dedication. And here's page 4, which is the first half of the book. Now, do you notice something? The words and half of the illustration are on there. If I do the other one, this illustration matches up with the first one, and the two form a full double page spread. So this one and this one match up perfectly together. I wonder if I could show you that. Maybe I can. Maybe I can move it over. Let's see. Okay, I can't move it over and show you. But trust me, and so what I did was yeah, you're gonna have to trust me on this one, because I did all these illustrations. I did all these illustrations with it in mind that I have to do a double page spread and do the whole illustration, but I have to leave room artistically. You see that big open area in the grass? That's where I knew the words were going to go. And I'll show you the next page. So there's the left side, and here's the right side, and you can see that they do go together. It's kind of hard to tell, but I made the dark side of the room so the white lettering can go over the dark. Okay, so that's why this book is different than The Mouse Who Changed Christmas, because it requires a double page spread. Now, to make it match up perfectly, you have to break the picture, and you have to break it up into two pieces. And the way you do that and keep it accurate so that they don't look off center is you use, now this is a Procreate trick, you could use different things, but it's kind of, let me show you here. It's kind of like this. Okay, this is kind of like the way I would do it. Let's see over here. So here you have Grandma for the cover of the book without any words, and then here you have the back of the book, and I purposely made it dark. And so then if you take that and you add the words to it, now you can see the words are on there. And then I put the pastor and his wife, their picture, and then I've made the words white so you could read them. And voila, then we have the double page spread for the book cover, which is exactly the same process as the pages inside the book. So that's the best way for me to show you how I did that. And you separate them perfectly by let's see, open the layers. Let's see, I want to take this one. Let's say I want to work that one. Okay, now this is going to be important to show you. Whoops, let me get the whole thing smaller. Do you see right there that little blue dot and that little blue dot? Well, the line between those two is the exact center. So that is where you split the page when you're going to put them in the different layers that I showed you. And that'll be, again, page 1 at the bottom, page 2, page 3, page 4. So if you're having it, to me it's a lot easier to have the picture on one side and the words on the other. But in this case, and I've done this a lot, you make the picture the whole 2-page spread, and then you put the words on the side that you choose, and make sure you leave room for it. Make sure you use a light color. I like to use white if it's a dark background and black if it's a light background. And you can adjust it, adjust it, adjust it, keep adjusting it until you get it the way you want it before you do anything. Now, once you make it into a PDF and then you send it to your computer, that's the part I want to show you next, and how I actually get the books for sale on Amazon. So now let me go back to my computer screen. Okay, now just take a moment here. Hopefully that's all explained. I will reiterate that I think it's important that you kind of look at all your different options. I will also say that the last book I did was last year. That was the The Mouse Who Changed Christmas. Oh no, I did 2 last year. The Mouse Who Changed Christmas. The 2 I just showed you. The Mouse Who Changed Christmas and Grandma's Music Box. I did both of those last year. So why is that important? Because I think technology has changed in the last year. I think there are some new things you can use. I think AI can actually help you put a book together. I haven't used it. I'm not really sure. But I'm pretty sure there are some programs. So I'm not really that old school, because what I'm showing you is something I used only 1 year ago. But in today's world, technology changes so quickly, it's possible there are things out there that I don't know about. I'm probably going to do a book in 2025. I have an idea for one. But at that point, I'll discover whatever is new. And there are some amazing things out there. I don't like using AI for the art itself, obviously, but for putting a book together, I don't see any reason why not. All right, so let me start the screen again. Go to the screen on my computer. All right, there we go. So this is where we left off here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to bring up that PDF that I sent to my computer. I think that would be called download, yeah. All right, so let me open up that PDF. So here's the PDF that I sent. Okay, it's a little bit large. Can I shrink that? How can I shrink that? Well, I don't know how to shrink it. But anyway, so this is the PDF, and it's in, gosh, how do you shrink it? It looks so big. Oh well, you get the idea. So this is the Mouse Who Changed Christmas. Okay, and there's the, so this is the first page. This is the one on the right, and then this is the second page, the one on the left, and it shows, you see the ISBN number, and our name, Bathing No Dinar, that's our company name, and that. So so this is the page on the right, and then here's the first picture, and here's the next page on the right side of it. So when you open up the book, this is on the left and this is on the right, and because I sent it to myself this way, it's one big PDF, picture and words. And with the Grandma's Music Box book, that one had a picture obviously on both sides that matched perfectly so that they would line up with each other. Okay, so let me get out of this, and now let me show you how I make a book. Okay, this is probably the part you're most interested in. So go to KDP. Can I move this down? All right, do you see the address right there? kdp.amazon. kdp.amazon.com. Don't worry about the rest of that stuff, because that takes you to my page. But that's what you want, kdp.amazon.com. And then you come here. Alright, so if I go here and I go to my bookshelf, it's going to show you all the books that I have made, published here on KDP. Now, Robin and I have also used Lulu. It's another company that publishes books, and we've also used Lightning Press. But there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of them. Some of them you pay money. Some of them are better than others. Amazon is absolutely my favorite because, first of all, it's free. Second of all, the quality is really super good. Now, we used to not like Amazon because it didn't offer hardcover, but now it does. It does offer hardcover. So as you can see here, there's the Sea Turtle book, there's the Kinder Square book, there's Grandma's Music Box. If you notice, these say live, and the Grandma's Music Box says draft, because this is not my book. This was their book, and they didn't know how to make the book into a book. They wrote it, but they were oblivious. So what I did is I put it on my account and then showed them, and I sat with them physically in person, and then showed them how to put it on their computer and do the exact same thing, with the exception of the final step, which is publish the book. So I never published the book on my account. They published the book on their account. So here's the Mouse Who Changed Christmas. This is the one we were looking at on my end of the book that I wrote with Robin. And you can see the Kindle book is live, and you can buy it for $2.99, and the paperback is live, and you can buy it for $9.95. And then you see this new thing here, create a hardcover. Well, I'm going to have to look into that because I haven't done it yet, and I want to do that one. Okay? And here's some of the other ones that we were talking about earlier, and some of them go way back a few years. Okay? So if you go to kdp.amazon.com, the first thing you're going to do is set up a little account, and then you're going to come here to create. Okay, so create. Let's pretend we're creating a book. Now you want to create a Kindle ebook, or you want to create a paperback, or you want to create a hardcover, or you want to create a series page. You'll understand all this when you do it. Don't be frightened. Don't be intimidated. These are easy things to do. So let's just say we want to create a paperback. I like paperbacks because with children's books, it keeps the price down for the end customer. And I'm going to go through this without doing anything here, but I just want to show you this. So you enter all the information it's asking for. In this case, what language is the book? What's the book title? What's the book subtitle? Is it part of a series? Is there an edition number? Who wrote the book? And if there's more than one author, you can add names. In my case, in Illustrator, I would put my name here under contributors, and you see you can put author, editor, forward, illustrator, introduction, narrator, whatever the credit is of the person. And then here's the description of your book. This is super important because this is where your SEO comes into play. SEO, if you don't know, is search engine optimization, SEO, and that's how people will find your book. It's one way anyway. So if you put words in here that describe the book, and add in, make sure you phrase things so that if somebody's looking for example, a Christmas book about Silent Night, because the Mouse Who Changed Christmas is about the song Silent Night. So let's say a Christmas book for children about Silent Night. Make sure you put that in there because that's going to be what somebody searches for. The publishing rights, you can either click I own the copyright and I hold the necessary publishing rights, or this is a public domain work. And that's a whole different world I've never done, but apparently you can take public domain works and publish them yourself. Who's the primary audience? Is it sexually explicit? And of course with the books that I've done, they're not. The reading age is important too. You pick the maximum and minimum ages for the potential reader. Who's the primary marketplace? I always put Amazon.com as the primary one, but you might want to put it in France or Germany or the United Kingdom or Spain or Italy, and the whole list is here. You can pick whichever is your primary one. Which 3 categories describe your book? And again, this is all self-explanatory. Keywords are really important. Make sure you put 7 keywords that people will find the book. In The Mouse Who Changed Christmas, you might put Christmas, you might put Silent Night, you might put maybe a longer keyword, like a long phrase keyword. But you could put like books for children about Christmas or something like that. Publication date, you can make it the same date that you put it up there, which is always what I do, and then the release date. And then you save and continue. Now, I don't want to do that because I don't have anything I'm actually publishing here, but after you pass this page, It's going to ask you basically the same types of questions, and eventually it's going to get to the point where it asks you to upload the files. And you will have to upload the PDF file of the content of the book, and you will have to upload the PDF file of the cover of the book. And then you will be able to see digitally how the book looks. It takes a little time, and the computer on their end puts it all together for you. Once it looks really good on the screen, order a copy for yourself. Order a proof. The proof will come in the mail a couple days later, maybe a week later. Don't be impatient. Do not be impatient. All right, let me go back to this, to myself. Hold on. Okay, so when you are done with the book and you are having the proof sent to yourself, I'm going to tell you a nightmare story. Robin and I, when we first started doing this, we sent the book to ourselves, and it arrived black and white, and it was supposed to be in color. Well, they didn't make a mistake at Amazon. I made a mistake. So when you go through all of those questions, make sure you pick out the type of paper. I would pick out the best paper. Make sure you pick out whether it's going to be in color or not, because that's the mistake I made. I clicked the wrong button. I was in a hurry, I was anxious, and well, I paid the price. But the point is, get a proof before you actually make the book available to the public. When the proof arrives, if it looks exactly as you want it to look, then you go ahead and do that last step, which is publish the book. Let me show you something. I was looking to see if I had any books, and you know, we give most of them away, and this is not my favorite cover, but this is one of the books. This is the Diary of Denver Pontiac, and they come out so nice. This particular book, I formatted it this way so that I would have more than one picture in here, and you can see how I did the words. And this is the story here is, this is a diary of a guy named Denver Pontiac. Oops, sorry. And I just love this book. The only thing I'm not too crazy about is the cover I made. But anyway, so this particular book, this is how nice it comes out. It's nice and glossy. And and it comes with they automatically put a barcode on there, whatever that thing is called, and you can sell the book. You can list it with the Library of Congress, and as far as the ISBN number, if you use Kindle, this it's called Kindle Publishing, Kindle Direct Publishing. It's called that, but you don't have to put it as a Kindle book. It's going to be a physical book like I just showed you. Or you can make it a Kindle book, or you can do all of the above. That's what we do. We make it a Kindle, an e-book. We make it a physical book, which is paperback. And now they give you the option to do a hardcover. Before, we would do all of our hardcovers at Lightning Press. And they were really good too. But again, do your due diligence, look around, find out who does what, and sometimes you have to pay money. With Amazon, you really don't pay any money except to buy your own books. And P.S., when you buy your own book, of course, you get your price. And this is another thing too, in making money with the book. You order them at your price. Let's say it's $3. And then you sell them at the market price, which is $10. So those are just random numbers, but it's approximately that much. So you buy it for $3, you sell it for $10, and that means a $7 profit, right? That gives you some wiggle room to put it on sale. You can make it $8. So it went from 10 down to 8. You paid $3. Boom, your profit is $5. When you're doing it that way, you kind of have to either be selling them through the mail, I prefer people just to order them from Amazon. It's a much quicker, and they send you your profit, and it's a much quicker way to do it. But if you want to physically, like if you want to have a book signing at your local bookstore, just order a bunch of books, sell them at the price. People will buy them, and you'll make a few dollars that way. But I think the bulk of your money is going to come from people who buy them on Amazon. That's the case with the books that Robin and I do. Most of the money we make is from books, by the way. The other artwork I do, like most of the time on Papa Paints, you watch me painting cards, etc. I pretty much give those cards away. I gave them all. It's fine for me to give them away. I've mentioned this before. I'm retired, and it's just fun, and I just enjoy painting. And I know this video is not about painting, so if this is the only video you've ever seen of mine, well, first of all, thank you for watching, and hopefully it's helped you how to publish your own book, your own children's book. Okay? I hope I've answered every question. I expect that there will be some questions. Please do not hesitate to write in the comment section whatever your question is. I will be happy to answer them. Be patient with me. I don't always look at those questions. I take a few days sometimes to find them or to see them. But I am not a young man, but I feel young. But if you are a young person and you're just getting started, good for you. If you're an old person like me and you're just getting started, good for you too. Hey, you're making the world a better place. You're giving it something, and you're trying your hardest to just make the world a better place. All right, enough philosophy. Hopefully the nuts and bolts of the video are helpful to you. That's it. No painting today. Just me explaining how Robin and I publish a book. I actually do most of the nuts and bolts part, the part I just showed you. And don't be intimidated by the questions, by the way. So the big takeaway from here, format it correctly. Make sure you have a good story. I should have started with that. Make sure you have a good story. And then work with the author if you're not the author, and say, does this, when I do illustrations for somebody else, I always do an illustration, send it to them, and then they send me a revision. Oh, make the guy closer to the camera, make the woman shorter, or make the sky darker. There's all kinds of revisions that I've done when I worked for other people. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't find my other books on Amazon, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Hey, just have fun. I'll talk to you later.